Good morning and a very warm welcome to BBC One. Coming up in an hour, BBC Breakfast News, after we join Sarah Coburn and Janet Barry.
Good morning and a warm welcome to Business Breakfast on Friday, your morning briefing on all the financial, company and other news at home and abroad. At 6:15, you're watching the BBC's Business Breakfast, the news headlines this morning. The 24-hour ceasefire in Bosnia appears to have... The 24-hour ceasefire in Bosnia appears to have continued overnight. Serbs and Muslims are asking whether permanent peace is possible. South Africa's political leaders are preparing for an unprecedented peace summit. 11 Belgian soldiers serving with the United Nations have been murdered in Rwanda. Well, in a moment, more details on the ceasefire between the Bosnian government and the Serb forces.
But that's after all the news, business and weather, wherever you are this morning.
Good morning from Jill and from me at 7 o'clock on Friday, the 8th of April. The headlines: the 24-hour ceasefire in Bosnia generally held overnight. There was some fighting around Gorizda, and the United States has warned Bosnia's Serbs to stop their attacks on the town or face airstrikes. Today, General Rose will meet the commanders of opposing forces to discuss a lasting peace. South Africa's political leaders are preparing for a peace summit. 10 Belgian soldiers have been murdered in Rwanda, where fighting continues. And Japan's Prime Minister is about to resign over allegations about financial irregularities. Thanks, Richard. Well, later in this morning's breakfast news, from rags to riches, the Birmingham woman whose struggle on the streets is over at last, thanks to the taxman.
And 50 years on, the American paratroopers preparing to jump once more over the D-Day beaches. First, though, the news, travel and the weather forecast, wherever you are this morning.
Minutes past 8, you're watching the BBC's Breakfast News. This morning's headlines: the 24-hour ceasefire in Bosnia appears to have held overnight despite fighting around Gorizda. The Japanese Prime Minister has resigned after allegations of personal financial irregularities. 10 Belgian soldiers serving with the United Nations have been murdered in Rwanda.
Good morning. More news in an hour.
Now on BBC One, the 1 o'clock news with Edward Sturton.
The violence in Rwanda has claimed the lives of some 20 priests and nuns, and reports say dozens of Rwandan aid workers have been killed too. Good afternoon. And that's it this Friday lunchtime from the BBC's 1 o'clock news. Good afternoon.
This is BBC Two. The news now at 2 o'clock with Moira Stewart.
afternoon.
Now on BBC One, the 6 o'clock news with John Humphreys and Moira Stewart.
Thousands of people have been killed in Rwanda, and this evening the slaughter is still going on. Soldiers have been fighting rebels in the streets of the capital, but many civilians are among the dead. The pregnant major dismissed from the army, she's been awarded £300,000. Britain's top athletics boss has been sacked. And Gaza comes home for an operation. He said, "I'm devastated, but I'll be back in the game." Good evening. Are 6 and still to come. Problems between the sexes on the Ark Royal. Some women sailors say they're fed up with the abuse.
Could the weather upset this year's Grand National?
And the D-Day veterans who are in training for the anniversary celebrations. National news is at 9 o'clock, but that's it for now. Good evening.
Good evening.
The 9 o'clock news, first on BBC One with John Humphreys.
Thousands of people have been killed and many more have been injured in Rwanda, and the fighting is still going on. The Red Cross said tonight it's an urban civil war. The pregnant major who had to leave the army, she's been awarded £300,000. One of the most senior officials in British athletics has been sacked. And the Grand National's at risk again, this time because of the rain. Good evening. Tonight's main news again. Thousands of people have been killed and many more injured in Rwanda in what the Red Cross has called an urban civil war. There'll be more on Newsnight on BBC Two at 10:30, but that's it from the 9 o'clock news for now. Good night.